It's high, but tonight is the ultimate test of his famous motivational magic. If Tunisia fall tonight, their tournament is effectively over. Japan, by contrast, enter the arena with an unwavering belief that they can conquer the world. Under Hajime Moriyasu's steady 8-year reign, the Samurai Blue have transformed from plucky underdogs to genuine international heavyweights, owning historic scalps over Germany, Spain and recently England at Wembley. They showed that trademark resilience on matchday 1, twice fighting back from behind to snatch a dramatic 2-2 draw against the Netherlands. But their momentum has hit a roadblock. The jewel in their crown, Kubo, suffered a severe knee injury and he is now confined to a wheelchair, ruled out of the tournament entirely. Combined with the absences of Mitoba and Minamino, Japan's depth is being stretched to its absolute limit. Yet a victory tonight puts them firmly in the driver's seat for knockout qualification before they clash with Sweden. The stakes are monumental. Well, the official team sheets are in and both managers have thrown curveballs into their starting lineup. Let's break down the tactical battle lines with the full squads. Renard has fundamentally shaken things up for his first game in charge, abandoning the previous system for a rigid combat-ready defensive shape to heal the scars of that Sweden defeat. It's a 5-4-1 formation. Darman returns to the starting lineup. The experienced shot stopper went the entire qualification cycle without conceding a goal and is trusted over the young Muhib Shamak tonight. A heavily reinforced back five features Sheffield Wednesday's Jan Valery alongside a trio of Bron, Talbi and we believe the only goal scorer of the tournament so far for Tunisia, Maribor comeback kid Omar Rekik. Lorient's defensive warrior Montasar Talbi and the highly influential Dylan Bron, who's been preserved post-knee injury. Ali Abdi is also somewhere in there, we believe, on the left-hand side of the defence, but could also pop in the heart of midfield. That's a position that could be taken by the captain Elias Skihiri of Eintracht Frankfurt alongside Burnley's marquee playmaker Hannibal Mejbri. Flanking them, the former futsal pioneer of Elias Saad and the blistering Celtic lightning bolt Sebastian Tinekti. Norwich City's eloquent Copenhagen-born playmaker Anis Ben Slimani is pushed further forward into an advanced role to act as the primary structural outlet up front as they get underway in Monterrey. Japan kicking us off. Samurai Blue maintain that highly demanding 3-4-2-1 system. Farmers history-making Serie A regular Zion Suzuki keeps the gloves. A stellar back three welcomes the elite positioning and aerial strength of Ajax and former Arsenal defender Takehiro Tomiyasu. He sits in the back three alongside captain Ko Itakura and Bayern Munich's defensive rock, the left-footed Hiroki Ito. The wing-back roles are filled by Eintracht Frankfurt big gay player Ritsu Doan on the right and Stade de Reims Jack Grealish-style winger Keito Nakamura on the left. The central spine is controlled by Mainz's core balanced midfielder Kaishu Sano and Crystal Palace's high IQ technician Daichi Kamada. Stepping up to replace Kubo are Genk's introverted impact spark Junya Ito, who's gone down in the penalty area. There are questions. It's actually Ayase Ueda. Ito is joined by Leeds United tactical reader Altanaka. It is Ueda who goes to ground. Let's have a look at the challenge. There might well be a penalty on VAR review, you know. Hajime Moriyasu quick to voice his appeals. And it was a worried look from Dylan Bron, who made the challenge from behind on Ueda. Well, Hannibal pushing really hard here, pressing Tomiyasu, who turns it back to Suzuki. Fascinating game tonight. Japan, obviously, with that point against the Netherlands in their opening game. Tunisia, torn apart by Sweden. Netherlands. A bit of revenge for Tunisia in a way earlier on today. A 5-1 win over Sweden has opened this group up a little. The two European sides occupying the top two spots of the group. Down the touchline to Elias Saad. Cross comes Ito. Concedes the throw in Tunisia with it out on that left-hand side. Shot from the long way out by Hannibal Mejbri. Turned on it and snapped it towards goal from 30 yards away, and for a moment Zion Suzuki was worried. From right in the corner of the penalty area. And always whipping and dipping towards that top corner. Not missed by much as Hannibal Mejbri. Decent attempt from Tunisia, and Hannibal, undoubtedly one of their star players, their star turns at this tournament. Suzuki goes short. Tomiyasu forward. And now Ueda. Nakamura. Left-hand side of the penalty area. Into the 6-yard box. And there's Daichi Kamada with the tap-in to give Japan the lead. The Crystal Palace midfielder with his second goal of the tournament. A huge smile on his face. Starts with Kamada on the halfway line, turns it round the corner. It's a lovely ball. Clipped into the middle for Altanaka, slips it to his left. There was Keito Nakamura, who snuck into the penalty area, and it's off Daichi Kamada again. It looks a wonderful finish. I'm not sure he knows much about it, much like his goal against the Netherlands, the all-important equaliser that earned them that point. Daichi Kamada. Has been in sparkling form for his club. Sometimes when things are going your way, you're just the right man in the right place, and he has been twice now at this World Cup. It's off the heel and into the back of the net, and it's just the start that Hervé Renard was looking to avoid. Doesn't often look flustered, the Frenchman, in that tailored, crisp white shirt that's become his trademark. And maybe another opportunity for Japan here. A ball over the top for Ueda. He took it on first time. It was dipping over his shoulder. Difficult technique that to try and lift it over the goalkeeper. And Dylan Bron had to be careful. Well, they've started the game ever so well, Japan. Many had them down as dark horses for this tournament, and you can understand why. They are ruthlessly efficient and never know where they're beaten. Kaishisano. It's given away. Here comes Celtic's Tenecti. He also is dispossessed, and here they come again. It's Junya Ito. Rensu Doan is dispossessed on the edge of the penalty area. Montasar Talbi with a challenge. Intercepted by Sano. Doan tried to escape down the right-hand side. It was Omar Rekik with the challenge. Ito. Returned to him by Kamada. Now Sano. Doan. Sano again in the middle. Pings one forward for Ueda. It's a little bit too physical from Takehiro Tomiyasu. A free kick for Tunisia just inside their own half of the pitch. And it's suddenly become a much trickier prospect for them. But 0-0, they can attack the game and try and get on the score sheet first. But now, trailing, they have to go after it, which will leave space in behind. Suzuki. On clearance downfield, and they let it bounce to Tunisia defence. Ueda's after it, and he's on the end of it as well. Here is Ueda. Come on, baby! Oh, brilliant challenge. Dylan Bron sliding in. Daichi Kamada was about to pull the trigger. It's sheer persistence from Ayase Ueda, who spins away from Jan Valery, almost like he's not there. Let it bounce, and the moment he did, he was in trouble. Japanese corner will be taken by Junya Ito towards the back post and pushed away by Darman. Ueda back in there, and as he kept it out, Darman, referee looks at his watch. It'll be a corner. That's a brilliant save. There's a big deflection in front of him. It's Takehiro Tomiyasu who tries, in fact, he's off a defender. He's just done enough. Brilliant save from Eamon Darman. It's practically over the line by the time he gets a big paw on it and claws it away from danger. It's being checked here. There's a VAR review underway. Istvan Kovac, the Romanian referee. Having a look at something. Fidai San, the Chinese official, is the VAR tonight. Ito again with the set piece. This time towards the near post. In the way was Skiri. A pointless foul from Saad. Ritsu Doan. Just bash him over the touchline. Well, we have just seen the goal line technology, the replay. It must be just inside, on the cusp of going in by ½ millimetre. Superb reactions from Eamon Darman, and how important could that prove to Tunisia's hopes in the remainder of the tournament? Across comes the captain Itakura. Put on Chalby. Rekic it is on that left-hand side. He's Skiri in the middle. Have to go backwards. to the goalkeeper, Darman. Hannibal. It's just about kept in play by Jan Valery. Oh, no, it's not actually. The assistant referee flags for a throw-in. It's a double save as well, because Takahiro Tomiyasu on the follow-up is denied by the foot of Eamon Darman after that magnificent save. Two big moments already in the game. Skiri in the centre circle for Talby. Bron. Valery will try and escape down the right-hand side. Had the assistance of Hannibal. Run into Nakamura, who concedes the throw-in, quickly taken by Tunisia. Here's Bron. On towards Tunekti. And Koitakura. And he's taking no chances with that one. It's a little touch behind. Tries to get back into it here from Tunisia. Elias Saad is wandering out towards that near side to take the corner kick. An ever-growing crowd of bodies towards the back post. Referee wants to just intervene before the corner kick is taken. Suzuki trying to buy himself a bit of space, make sure that he's being screened in front of him. In comes the corner, driven very well towards the edge of the 6-yard line, and it's away by Itakura again. In by Saad. Gets it back. And back to Valery. Diagonal towards the far side of the penalty area. Ritsu Doan can let it bounce. It's kept in towards Talby. Touch from Rekic. Maybe a chance to get a shot away, but the ball just wouldn't settle for them there, Tunisia. And now Japan maybe can counter. Here's Daichi Kamada. And Kamada tried to go down the middle. Nakamura was outside him on the left-hand side. In going alone, the Crystal Palace midfielder loses it, but he's won it back as well. Nakamura. Ito. Now Tanaka. Kamada. Nakamura. Tanaka. Sano. Now with Tomiyasu on the far side. Itakura. Tanaka. Ito. Tanaka. Sano. Tomiyasu tries a little give and go with Junya Ito. Look on the throw in Japan. Tomiyasu. Ito. Back to Tomiyasu. Tanaka. Ito. Low cross, cut away at the near post by Dylan Bron. Hannibal goes down, challenge from Tomiyasu. Sven Kovacs waited to see what that would amount to for Tunisia, and he'll pull it back for the foul. There's other individual errors in that opening defeat to Sweden from Tunisia. They can tidy those up. They were a bit of a force in qualifying for this tournament. Probably the first time in a long time, probably since 2002, that there's been any expectation on Japan. Sometimes that tag of dark horse can weigh heavy on teams. Cool and calm heads in the Japanese ranks, though. Tomiyasu, Ito. Slimani. Saad. Suddenly surrounded by blue shirts, including Daichi Kamada, who wins it back. Tanaka. Keito Nakamura. Here's Hiroki Ito. Carried away by Ko Itakura. Junya Ito. Sano to Ito. Kamada. Ito with a long diagonal. It's a good run from Junya Ito. Jumping with the goalkeeper. Didn't catch it. Every right to go for that, did Junya Ito. Clever run. Just diagonally in from the right-hand side. Forces Eamon Darman to make a decision, because a couple of times now the defenders in front of him haven't dealt with it. Renard absolutely screaming on his players from the touchline. And he met the Tunisia squad on Tuesday. You do wonder what he can actually do in such limited time. But he's a fascinating character. He's won the Africa Cup of Nations twice with Zambia and Cote d'Ivoire. He's renowned as a workaholic. He's the only man to win the AFCON with two different nations, in fact. Retired from football age 29, he was a cleaner. He used to wake up at 2:30 in the morning to take out the bins before attending afternoon coaching sessions for 8 years. And joins a unique little group, including Bora Milutinovic, Carlos Alberto Pereira and Hush Hiddink, managing a different country at 3 successive runnings of this tournament. Darman, flat through the middle. Tanaka almost found Daichi Kamada. It's Hannibal in a bit of a pickle on the edge of his own penalty area. He's been helped out of a bit of a hole there by the referee. That's the one thing Japan managed to do really well, is when they sense an opportunity to win it back, they will commit bodies. It's Darman. Itakura underneath the clearance. Valerie. Again broken up in midfield by Japan and Tanaka. Itakura. Tomiyasu. Tanaka. Itakura finds Hiroki Ito. Tanaka just dropping between the defenders at the moment. Here's one of them, Tomiyasu. Inching their way forward, Japan, now on the halfway line with the captain, Ko Itakura. Leeds United's Tanaka. Tomiyasu looking for Doan. Rekik comes across. Clearance, rifles against Ali Abdi. Looks how to play for a throw-in, but also a pause. The first hydration break of this evening's contest. A little bit of a fight back from Tunisia after conceding the lead early on to Daichi Kamada, who's second of the tournament. And as the whistle was blown and the players ushered towards the sidelines, it was remarkable, the reaction from the supporters around the ground here in Monterrey. There's been a controversial new development in the way these games are run. As we noted before kick-off, that temperatures here in this iconic part of Mexico not particularly high, especially at this point in the evening. But you suspect that Hajime Moriyasu will be pretty pleased to be able to get his players around him. Just remind him of how well they were doing at the start of this game. Midway point in this first half. As it stands, Tunisia would be crashing out of the tournament. They need a response. I imagine it's going to come at some point. Whether they can muster enough to keep their hopes alive. That remains to be seen. There's some ice being used by some of the Japanese players. You might as well take the chance. Not just to rehydrate, but cool down. It's a pity that this one is being played under the floodlights just behind that goal. Way to our right. It's quite a sight in Monterrey. Almost ready to resume. Carnival, colourful atmosphere in Monterrey. But just as many Mexico shirts in the crowd as there are Japanese and Tunisian. Quite a significant diaspora of Japanese expats spending their time in Mexico now. I'm sure a huge portion of them have made the trip to Monterrey tonight. We will restart with a Japan throw deep in Tunisian territory, looking for a wader. Cleared upfield, Itakura is there. Held away by Valerie. It's Hiroki Ito that meets it. He's going to burst a blood vessel, Reinhardt. Kamada. Doan. couldn't quite get it under control, and now comes Hannibal Medri through the middle. Ali Abdi chops back onto his left, pokes it inside. Too many attempts to try and beat the defender there from Ali Abdi. It was Tomiyasu with the clearance. Hannibal. Bron. Oh, the ball goes backwards. Japan step up the field very quickly. Pressing Darman, whose clearance is long down the right-hand side. Sard beaten to it by Hiroki Ito. Talbi. Hannibal. Bron on the right-hand side. Talbi. Bron. They're retreating. Valerie. Plays against Nakamura. And then takes the resulting throw-in. That's off the knee of Ko Itakura. Itakura again with the clearing header. Looking for Valerie down the right-hand side. Slide challenge came in from Ito. Tunisia with a little bit of momentum now. Bron. Talbi. Late to the centre circle. Skiri. Back to the goalkeeper. He's Hayman Darman. Itakura with the interception. Now here's Ueda. Thought about taking it on himself. He's being forced wide. Ueda! Oh, he does! And that's fantastic! From Mayasu Ueda. Thought 3 or 4 times about pulling the trigger. Just as Tunisia was starting to grow into the game. Ayase Ueda with a brilliant strike, drives it across the goalkeeper from 25 yards into the bottom corner. And arrows it into the bottom corner. Golden Boot winner in the Eredivisie this season for Feyenoord. Let's have a look. It's through Talbi's legs, or was it Abdi? It's Montasar Talbi. Brilliant effort for Mayase Ueda. Left Ayman Darman with little chance of saving it. Well, shades of his manager this season, Robin van Persie, in that finish. No longer Feyenoord manager. But it's the kind of goal that you saw time and time again from the Dutch legend. It's Tunisia 0, Japan 2, and it's no less than the Japanese deserve. Darman's clearance. Doan chasing out on that right-hand side. Such a Junior Ito. Rekic puts it out of play for a Japanese throw-in. And there are some long old stares locked in on those Tunisian faces in the crowd. They knew that this was going to be a difficult group to get out of, featuring the Netherlands, Sweden and Japan. Vast amount of international pedigree. There's an opportunity maybe for Japan here to almost rack up as many goals as the Netherlands did against Sweden. Reminder as well, it's been another controversial change to the tournament. The first tiebreaker criteria for teams finish level on points, it's head-to-head, so it's about the record you've got against a team that you're matched on points with. For Japan at the moment, that would be the Netherlands, and that 2-2 draw means that you would start to look at goal difference. Tanaka, good defending. Junior Ito, fouled a little agriculturally by Hannibal Mejbri. Sano. Ito. Oh, Ko Itakura. Here's Junior Ito to Doan. Tomiyasu. Tanaka. Hiroki Ito. Here's Kamada. Junior Ito to Doan. Loses out on that far side. Rekic with the challenge. Now Hannibal. Looks for the long diagonal. Nakamura. Gets it back to Suzuki. Going towards Kamada, who oftentimes tonight has been the man closest to Ayase Ueda. There's been hesitancy in that Tunisia defensive unit. Let the ball bounce a few too many times. Sano penalised for a foul on Hannibal just outside the centre circle towards the left-hand side. Last 10 minutes of this first half. Slimani. Valerie. Saad. Talby. Rekic. Turned forward by Skiri. Tomiyasu in the way. Ali Abdi looking for the foul. Just blocked off. Ito. Itakura. Here's Kaishi Sano. Itakura. Sano. Doan. Tomiyasu. Back to Itakura outside the centre circle. Junior Ito, drop of the shoulder into the penalty area, and it just bobbled on under his feet. Started to surge into the box, and there was Tunisian panic again. It's one or two extra touches that weren't necessary with players well placed in the box. Ueda and Kamada, two goal scorers, looking for the pass. Run with another long diagonal. That seems to have been the plan for Tunisia in this first half at least. Talbi. No, Rekik. Talbi in the centre circle. Down the outside for Valerie. It's off the shins of Keito Nakamura, but back off Valerie as well. So Japan with a throw in. It's Bayern Munich's Hiroki Ito. Tomiyasu. Tanaka. Tomiyasu. Kick down the right-hand side, lovely ball to Doan. Tracked by Rekik. Doan laid off. Junior Ito to the back post. Kamada can take it down. Couldn't quite trap it, so he's forced a little wide, the Palace midfielder. Ito. Tanaka. Sano. Here's Junior Ito on the right-hand side. Tried to take on Ali Abdi. Tried to go on the inside. He's run into Abdi. Concedes the foul. The last 5 minutes of this first half, plus whatever they're adding on. As the ball goes long again into Japan's half of the pitch. If you're just joining us, waking up in the early hours in Europe or on your way to bed somewhere else in the world, Japan with a brilliant, energetic and clinical start. Goals from Daichi Kamada and Ayase Ueda have given them a 2-goal lead. And remember, you are tuning into this independently produced, unofficial audio commentary of the biggest international tournament of all. This game between Tunisia and Japan in Monterrey, available on your local television broadcaster or streamer. So if you feel like it and you want to watch along, tune in, sync up our audio, and let's deal with the storytelling for you while you enjoy the pictures, maybe a morning cup of coffee, and maybe a chamomile as you prepare yourself for bed. Ito, nice back heel from Nakamura, finds Kamada, tries to return it to Nakamura. Kamada sharp in the challenge. Poked it free initially from Tenekti. Hiroki Ito, laid it off to Sano. Tomiyasu. Junior Ito. Seem to be taking turns playing that number 9 role for Tunisia. Slimane it was initially, now it's Saad. Tomiyasu tries to swing one out to the far side. Jan Valery was there. Hooked forward by Hiroki Ito. And Daichi Kamada just sucked Bron in there. Clever foul. A bit naive from Dylan Bron. Just slowed down a little, Daichi Kamada. Bron and his eagerness to try and win it back has ended up shoving the Palace midfielder to the ground. There'll still be a free kick in there. Interesting position for Japan. 30 yards from goal, two over at Junior Ito, one of them, Ritsu Doan the other. Will be the right of Junior Ito. Eamon Darman punch, but only onto his own man. Acrobatic attempt to try and keep it moving, Hiroki Ito on the edge of his own penalty area, and he's just going to hammer that as far away from goal as possible. Here's Zion Suzuki outside his penalty area. Fascinating character, Zion Suzuki, USA-born, Ghanaian heritage alongside his Japanese heritage, elected to play for Japan after coming through the ranks in the United States. Really possesses some fantastic physical qualities and had to be at his best against the Netherlands. Save against Daniel Marlon in particular stands out. Lovely back heel on the edge of the box from Junior Ito. Nice feet. Here's Tunekti. Saad. Valery. I'm sure he really wanted that in that position, surrounded by three Japan midfielders. Nice little back heel, sliding in. Goes Hiroki Ito, and that cannons against Elias Saad. Will be a Japanese throw-in. Ito. Tomiyasu. Tanaka. 4 minutes of time added on at the end of this first half. Kamada. Ito. The ball looped into the penalty area, but it's too close to the goalkeeper. It's away by Eamon Darman. Long towards Saad. Rushes Itakura. Couldn't quite keep it in play. Set up for the long throw, Jan Valery. Sheffield Wednesday heaves one towards the Itakura. On towards Ueda. Nice touch under pressure. Laid off to Tanaka. Now Junior Ito. Hiroki Ito. Down the line by Nakamura. Here's Daichi Kamada. Nakamura keeps it in play. No, he doesn't. That'll be a throw for Tunisia. And an apology from Daichi Kamada. Oh, Tunisia with a free kick of their own inside the Japan half of the pitch. To the penalty area, Slimani's delivery. Foul at Tunisian heads, but a tame effort. Easily claimed by Suzuki. Hiroki Ito. Tanaka. Forward by Itakura. Kaiju Sano. All eyes on the referee. And there is the whistle from Istvan Kovac. That brings a breathless first half to a close. At the interval, this monumental 1,000th match of this international tournament. Japan lead. Punishing reality check for Hervé Renard in his first half in charge. Parachuted into the dugout to fix a leaking defensive wall. But that conservative five-man back line was breached in just the 4th minute. Palace's Daichi Kamada, who found the breakthrough. Close range tap-in off his heel to hand the Samurai Blue a dream start. Tunisia steadied the ship, but have been entirely starved of oxygen by a relentless high-pressing Japanese side. Just after the half-hour mark, the advantage was double. Feyenoord's Ayase Ueda caught it beautifully. A quite spectacular strike, a clinical effort from distance, but nestled into the bottom corner to leave the Tunisian dugout staring into the abyss. As it stands, Japan cruising into a commanding position in Group F. They will level points with the Netherlands, while Tunisia are 45 minutes away from tournament elimination. Hervé Renard has a massive mountain to climb and needs to find some serious inspiration inside that locker room. Imagine that if Tunisia have any hopes of turning this one around, they have to score the next goal. Grab yourself a drink, stretch your legs out, but don't go anywhere. Make sure your feed is synchronised to your regional TV provider, because the players will be heading back out into the cauldron of atmosphere in Monterrey in around 15 minutes' time. I'll be right here to bring you every single second of the second half live. But at the moment, it's Japan 2, Tunisia 0.
Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok.
Welcome back. Japan lead Tunisia by 2-0 at the start of this second half. They have 45 minutes to save their tournament, Tunisia. The Carthage Eagles heading for a group stage exit as things stand. And here's Renard has had his team in at half-time and has made 2 changes at the start of this second half. Elias Saad has gone off. His replacement, the Augsburg winger Ismail Garbi. It's been a really tough evening for the Tunisians in Monterrey. Goals from Daichi Kamada after just 4 minutes, and then Ayase Ueda just on the half-an-hour mark has given Japan a commanding position. And as we mentioned in the first half, as things stand, they will go level on points with the Netherlands, albeit with a bit of a deficit in terms of goal difference compared to the Dutch side. There'll be a lot riding on that final day match against Sweden, especially in this group stage, as to whether Japan will finish second or potentially third. There's another change as well, and I think a bit of a change of shape defensively from Tunisia, as Dylan Braun has given way. He's been replaced by Mohamed Amin Ben Hamida, who plays back on home soil for Tunis. No changes for Japan thus far. Still Zion Suzuki in goal. And 3 centre-backs, Takahiro Tomiyasu, Ko Itakura and Hiroki Ito. Junior Ito and Keitu Nakamura are operating as the 2 wing-backs, Ritsu Doan and Daichi Kamada as the 2 attacking midfielders behind Ayase away to the engine room. Being manned by Kaishu Sano and Ao Tanaka. Here he is from a long way out. Not far away. He just burst into life every now and then, Japan. Pick the tempo up and very difficult to live with. Just dragged slightly wide from Tanaka. Clearance from Ayman Darman, facing Shamak tonight after that opening day drubbing in the hands of Sweden. Here's Koitakura. Tomiyasu, lovely ball. Kamada tried to do the unselfish thing and slip it through to Ayase Ueda. Probably had a bit more space than he thought, Kamada. There's a technical ability to test the goalkeeper from that sort of range as well. Hiroki Ito concedes the foul. And those 2 changes for Tunisia, that probably signals a shift to a back 4, but we'll see how they shape up over the next few minutes or so. It's in midfield here for Slimani. Now Hannibal. Tenecti. Oh, it's just behind Hannibal. The cutback across the goal mouth. He says that took a nick off a Japan player. And he gets the referee's decision. It's a throw in from the left-hand side. Slimani. Hannibal. It's good play from Valerie down the right-hand side. Not a bad ball as well. Something has to give for Tunisia if they are to keep their hopes of progressing out of the group stage alive. Hannibal. Ben Hamida. Talbi. Rekic. Still seems to be a back three. The three centre-backs, Talbi, Rekic and Ben Hamida. Tenecti at the moment is on the near side, slotting into that wing-back position, but they've also got Ali Abdi on the pitch as well as Anis Slimani. As already mentioned, Ismail Garbi and Hannibal. And the captain, Elias Skiri, rounding off the 11. And Valerie of Sheffield Wednesday in the mix too. It's tenacious stuff from Keita Nakamura on the far side, trying to force his way through. Tomiyasu. Tanaka. His camera just stumbled. And he'll then the throw in on halfway. I do appreciate you tuning into our independently produced studio-based commentary this evening, this morning, this afternoon, wherever you're listening to us in the world. It's always a pleasure to bring you these big games tonight. One of the biggest as well, not necessarily in terms of historical success of these two teams, but it's the thousandth game we've seen in the 96 years of this superb tournament. Suzuki, Hiroki Ito, slayed off by Nakamura. Kamada managed to play on despite being on the ground, but it's much better from Tunisia, pressing high and fast and hard, but pass forward and the layoff. Abdi seems to be playing more of a central role through the middle for Tunisia. Couldn't link up with Hannibal on the edge of the Japan box. Itakura. Tanaka. Kashisano. Takehiro Tomiyasu. Tasano. Poked into the middle for Tanaka. Here's Junior Ito. Now Doan. Tanaka tries to return it to Doan. Slimane on the retreat. It was Daichi Kamado who tried to just cushion it forward for Ayase Ueda. Didn't quite come off. Hannibal. Okay. It is Skiri just sandwiched between two Japanese challenges. Tunisia will have the free kick on the near side. Hannibal. Again, that's got away from Slimani. Konechty as well. Suzuki, Tanaka, Ito. Back to him from Nakamura. Koitakura. Kaishu Sano. Heavy touch from Tomiyasu. Tunisia quickly take the throw in. Ito with the challenge in the centre circle that's been penalised by the referee. Different Tunisia performance in this second half. Being played in the middle at the moment. Talbi. Another aimless ball from Rekic. Taken short, hence Koitakura. Kaishu Sano. Sano again. Plays his football for Mainz. Poise and balance in midfield is influenced by the fact that he spent his entire childhood wearing those traditional Japanese sandals on the advice of his father. Led off by Abdi. From Kaishu Sano. Itakura. On the right foot, Ritsu Doan. Kamara. Junior Ito. Doan. Tomiyasu, Doan, down the outside for Ritsu Doan. Slide tackle came in from Ali Abdi. There's actually Ben Hamida. That'll be a corner. It's going to be another set piece taken by Gents, Junior Ito. Short to Ritsu Doan. This cross blocked by Ali Abdi. And Doan will slide in to win it back. Ismail Garbi. Haven't seen much of him since coming on as a half-time substitute that throws the ball back into play. He's ski. Slimani, Skiri. Hannibal pokes it to the left. Here's Ali Abdi. And Ritsu Doan it is sliding in to block the cutback. Gets back to his feet and feels that he was fouled. The free kick given Japan's way. But Tunisia are asking the question about the hand. No, there's nothing there. Superb tracking back from the wing back Ritsu Doan. The way that takes it down. It's crowded out. Set free by Itakura. Rekic steps forward. Abdi. Skiri. Tunekti. Talbi. Enjoying much more of the ball in this second half, Tunisia. Rekic. And Hamida. Junior Ito was in the way. And draws the touch off the substitute, Ben Hamida. Pretty much fit in anywhere across that back line. Left-footed, so prefers it on this left-hand side. Describes himself across his social media platforms as a master of mental preparation, the 30-year-old. Anyways, he's regarded as every coach's dream. Flexibility. Itakura. To Suzuki. Back to Itakura. He was on Manchester City's books for 3 years. Between 2019 and 2022. Never managed a senior breakthrough. Not playing his football for Ajax. Known for his sunny disposition and the cheerful anchors of this Japan side. Neatly done by Ali Abdi to win it back. Looking for Tunekti. Flipped over his head by Suzuki. Tomiyasu. Kaishu Sano spread his body, drew the foul from Hannibal. There's the free kick on the edge of the centre circle. Hiroki Ito. Tanaka. Sano. Tomiyasu. Sano. Left edge of the centre circle is Itakura. Nakamura. Kamada let it run. Here's Ueda. A deflection there, will carry it over the byline for a corner. Man coursing with confidence, Ayase Ueda. After the season he's had, you can fully understand why. By Junior Ito, not swing up. Rekic with a clearing header. Ismail Garbi gave chase. Tunisia will make a change very shortly. Looks like it's Firas Shawat of Club Africain to come on. Attacking reinforcement, readying himself on the sidelines. It's Hannibal. Off decent ball down the middle. Tunekti. Slimani. Rather couldn't lay it off. Here he is again. Slimani. Hannibal will take over. Now Tunekti. Low into the penalty area, not with much pace though. It's easily dealt with by Itakura. Here comes that change, and it's the end of Sebastian Tinecti's involvement. Off goes Tinecti. On comes Shawat. On in his place. He's at home in the Tunisian league, 14 goals for Club Africain. A bit flat this second half in comparison to the energy of the first. Tanaka. Takura. Sano. Tomiyasu. Kamara. Ritsu Doan. Near side. It's being held off by Ali Abdi. He'll bypass Shawat to feed it across to Itakura. Nakamura. Here's Kaishu Sano. Between the lines is Kamara. And that's behind Doan. The ball given away. Here is Sano again. Now Kamara. Nakamura. Looking for a shooting opportunity, will get his shot away, but swiftly blocked on the edge of the box. No Shawat, he's been fouled. That's good from Shawat, his first involvement. He's buying that foul. Hannibal. Garby couldn't handle it. Tomiyasu. Junior Ito. Ritsu Doan on the right hand side. Tomiyasu. Forward by Kaishi Sano. Nakamura looked for Kamara. Hasn't seen as much of the ball in this second half, the Crystal Palace man. He's skiddy. Ball forward, nodded away by Tomiyasu. Done. Suzuki. Time on the ball for the goalkeeper. Itakura. To him by Tomiyasu. Little flick over the top. Down in behind, it's Junior Ito, who seals all 3 points. A delightful little dinked pass into the path of Junior Ito. A calm and composed finish, but it's all about the ball through. He's been a tireless worker for Japan this evening. It's so clever. Daichi Kamada creates the space. But it's a delicious little ball by Ayase Ueda, who just flicks it over the top. Junya Ito's pace takes him through. Strong enough to hold off Ben Hamida. And as the game was just starting to disintegrate into something quite tepid, Japan lit the touch paper again and produced another piece of brilliance. One more, and they will be level on goal difference as well with the Netherlands. And that's the trigger for the second half hydration break as the clock ticks to 70 minutes. Hajime Moriyasu will have the luxury of maybe resting some of his biggest players. There were a few changes to the lineup, to the one that started against the Netherlands in the opening game of the group. It's all about pride now for Tunisia. Now conceded 14 goals in the last 5 games. I'm going to have to pull something out of the bag to depart this tournament with something fun to look back on. Otherwise it's been pretty slim pickings for Tunisia. But Japan, though, really living up to the billing. We've already mentioned tonight that tag as dark horses is often a poison chalice. But they seem to really relish the added expectation here. For Japan now, as we mentioned, really do have the opportunity to make top spot in the group their own. That's currently in the possession of the Netherlands, courtesy of that 5-1 win over Sweden earlier today, or yesterday, whichever way you want to look at it. Well, officially 18 minutes plus injury time. Japanese supporters, as you'd imagine, really enjoying themselves in Monterrey tonight. On the hydration break, we'll see a couple of changes. Ritsu Doan and Daichi Kamada go off. Yukinari Sugawara comes on. Junosuke Suzuki, a FC Copenhagen, FC Copenhagen man, comes on. Just 22 years old, he is a former defensive midfielder, converted to a centre-back during just his third professional season. It's a gamble that really saved his career. Superb range of passing and decent vision as well. So by no means are they settling for what they've got so far, Japan. It's another good evening for Daichi Kamada. Also selfish. Crystal Palace fans will tell you that. All the headlines are about Ismail Assar and Adam Wharton in the Premier League and Conference League campaigns. It's Daichi Kamada that sets the platform. And has tonight as well. Corner kick taken sharply, shortly.